Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I started a new chapter of interview preparation. This chapter primarily focus on what are the important things that you need to be prepared for the interview. Now in this video, we'll talk about the next question that I am covering from the video. So the next question is, how do you handle multiple tasks when deadlines are tight? Which means when there are multiple activities that you need to do, and then each of the activity there is a tight deadline mentioned. How does somebody handle? So that's the question. So we'll first try to understand what is the reason for the interviewer asking this question. Okay. So with this question, the interviewer wanted to understand what are your time management skills. Right? They want to see how well you prioritize and organize your workload when things get busy. When you are professionally working, it is not always just one task that you will have. There will be piles of tasks, one behind the other, sometimes both at the same time. So, through this question, the interviewer wanted to understand if you get into a situation where you have to deliver multiple things, how do you handle them? I'll also try to give you a sample answer in the coming slides. The other reason people try to, or the interviewer try to ask this question is they wanted to understand your ability to work under pressure. When there are tight deadlines, definitely there is a lot of question. So this question tests is whether you can stay calm and focused when deadlines are stressful. So with this question, they will also assess your stress levels, where they get to know if you have to handle multiple tasks at same time, how do you handle them. And the other two reasons because of why this question is asked is your prioritization and decision making skills. You can identify which tasks are most urgent or important and act accordingly, which means from the list of tasks that you have, which one do you prioritize? I will give you one example for this. If you have to pay your electricity bill, which is due today, versus there is an invoice that you need to pay tomorrow, out of both, which one will you prioritize? So, simplest thing is if you don't pay your power bill on time, your services will get disconnected. So, your first activity will be making the payment for your electricity bill, then followed by the invoice payment. The other reason for interviewer asking this question is what are your problem solving and planning skill sets? And they want to know if you can break down complex workloads and then manage step by step process, like maintaining a to do list or a checklist that you need to follow. The way you can answer this question as a fresher is because you don't have experience, you can straight away start from saying that as a fresher, I may not have the on job expertise, but during my academic project and assignments, I often had to manage multiple tasks under tight deadlines. For example, during my final semester, I was preparing for exams while making on a group financial project and also attending a workshop on GST filing, which means you are telling the interviewer that, hey, firstly, I do not have an expertise, but through my example, I am also telling you that I've gone through this situation while I was studying. Then, as part of my study, as part of my preparation, I used to do multiple activities, which is with my tight deadlines on exams, I was still able to manage my other priorities also. Then your additional response will be to manage everything efficiently. I created a simple to-do list and prioritize tasks based on urgency and deadlines. I broke large tasks into smaller steps and set mini deadlines for each. I also used calendar reminders and focused on one task at a time to avoid confusion. So through this, you are telling the interviewer that, hey, uh, I have a habit of creating a to-do list, which means I mark down all the activities that I need to do, and then those activities I divide into different deliverable timelines. And I also set reminders for myself that I don't miss the deadlines. And I believe these time management habits will help me in my finance roles like AP and AR, where accuracy and meeting deadlines are very important. I am also open to learn company specific tools and best practices to improve my efficiency under pressure. So, through this sentence, you are trying to explain that hey, the skills that I carry are going to help your organization where accuracy and meeting deadlines are very important. So, just as a revision of end to end response to this question, I will read out this response to you. Uh, As a fresher, I may not have on the job experience, but during my academic projects and assignments, I often had to manage multiple tasks under tight deadlines. For example, during my final semester, I was preparing for exams while making on a group finance project and also attending a workshop on GST. To manage everything efficiently, I created a simple to do list and prioritized tasks based on urgency and deadlines. I break I broke large targets into smaller steps and set mini deadlines for each. I also used calendar reminders and focused on one task at a time to avoid confusion. I believe these time management habits will help me in finance roles like AP and AR, where accuracy and meeting deadlines are very important. I am also open to learn company specific tools and best practices to improve my efficiency under pressure. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe.